transform his legs into a helicopter? Why did you guys recommend me this? Does turning Super Saiyan make him depressed? Why does the spirit want to give him head? Salutations, critically acclaimed AniTuber Friday here. You're probably wondering how I ended up reading a manga about schlong-sucking turbo grannies and psychokinetic nut-busting, but I assure you, there is a perfectly logical explanation for this. Let's start from the beginning. The lore. It all started with this fella named Yukinobu Tatsu, an extremely talented artist and storyteller with a humble beginning as a convenience store worker. Mr. Tatsu spent many grueling hours in front of a counter awaiting commands from sweaty gamers in need of G Fuel and the like, thus leaving him with what we in the workforce like to call a metric butt ton of free time. What did he use this free time for? Drawing. And as every fellow artist knows, when you're drawing in public, someone has to look over your shoulder like it's the second coming of Christ or an e-girl walking into an Applebee's. But the thing is, Yukinobu Tatsu is good at drawing. Like, really good. This led his co-workers to say things like, "Oh, you're so talented, you might as well become a mangaka." In response, he said, "Okay." And then he fucking did it.
Let's go!
This absolute behemoth of a man just went from working at a combini to becoming the assistant to two of the greatest mangakas of all time. Yuji Kaku, creator of Hell's Paradise, and Tatsuki Fujimoto, creator of Mermaid Rhapsody and, I don't know, Chainsaw Man. As an aspiring artist, there are very few origin stories more inspiring than the likes of Yukinobu Tatsu, which is why it's even more of a shame to know that his first set of one-shots didn't do too hot. While he did have a series by the name of Fireball, it didn't get past the 5-volume mark, and his editors gave him rejection after rejection when he pitched a new series. This didn't leave him with very many options. His editor gave him the advice to try making a manga that was a tad more freeform, a bit more unconventional, a little bizarre, and oh boy did he deliver. The pitch. Dandadan stars a high school outcast named Ken. He lives a life without a single friend due to his chronic obsession with UFOs and other paranormal activity. So Ken's going about his normal every day, getting relentlessly bullied at school, casually about to get a magnet slung in his cranium.
That ain't right.
Until
Ego alert, ego alert.
Her name is Momo Ayase, and she briefly pretends to be Ken's friend to scare his bullies away. But to her surprise, after she did her righteous deed for the day, she's reapproached by the nerd. Ken's come to a conclusion. The only logical reason why someone as popular as Momo Ayase would want to talk to a Redditor like him is that she too has an interest in the paranormal, only to find out that not only does Momo not believe in aliens, but she also doesn't want to be his friend. She does believe in ghosts, though. Yeah, they argue about it. The two get in a very passionate debate expressing how stupid they think each other's beliefs are, and they end up settling it with a bet. Momo will visit a building famous for its UFO sightings, and Ken will go to a haunted tunnel. Whoever can find evidence of their beliefs wins. Seems simple enough, but there was one small problem with their plan. They were both right. Ken encounters an evil spirit, and I'm not talking your standard Kroger brand shonen monster. Ken finds himself standing before the Japanese urban legend, the 100-kilometer hag, more modernly known as the Turbo Granny. She asks the boy verbatim,
"I'll let you suckle my teats if you let me gobble your schlong."
Doing what any sane person would. Ken runs away. But little does he know, when you lose a race to the Turbo Granny, she places a curse on you. And since she runs at Mach 5, Ken is now possessed by the Turbo Granny, becoming a schlong-sucking symbiotic half-granny teenage boy beast akin to Sony Studios' Venom. Meanwhile, Momo is being stripped and abducted by a horde of aliens called Serpoians. Since Serpoians consist of only males, they increase via cloning technology. But when their entire species is genetically identical, their gene pool kind of refuses to evolve. So their solution to this, and I'm quoting, is to perform the sex act and extract Ayase's banana organs for research. Oh, there's more. The aliens then use psychokinetic energy to send Momo's brain into a more optimally aroused state, as the symbiotic Turbo Granny fusion runs through Momo's phone in order to bite off the alien's robotic balls. The alien brainwave transmissions then awaken Momo's latent psychic abilities as they blow up the UFO. Hey Friday, don't you think you're getting a little too in-depth with this manga? This is the first fucking chapter. I haven't even begun to talk about the execution. The thing about Dandadan that separates it from other chaotic series like Chainsaw Man is that it's not just weird. It's based. Be it meme lord translators, the natural-born lingo of a zoomer, or the unhinged nature of a last-ditch attempt in a successful series pitch, someone had to have been shitposting during the creation of this manga. You just don't see words like schlong being used in traditional Japanese literature. And I refuse to believe that the plotline about Ken's balls being stolen by an evil spirit wasn't something that Yukinobu Tatsu created specifically to play perfectly as a bottom text meme. The review. After reading the first couple chapters, I originally saw Dandadan as nothing more than a psychedelic spectacle. An artistic showcase of insanity. The first chapter's ending had an emotional beat that didn't do much for me, and there were a few that followed that produced similar results. But after chapter 3 ended on such an immaculate punchline, I decided to give Dandadan another shot, and I'm really glad I did. Yuki no Butatsu started to captivate me with the character dynamics being displayed. Ken and Momo start to develop a really genuine and sweet friendship that you just can't find anywhere else in Jump. While they do argue and tease each other a lot, they have this really tangible care for each other that makes you start to value their relationship as much as they do. Not to mention, as we gain more insight on the upbringing of these characters, we start to understand a lot more on why they act the way they do. The real reason why Ken loves aliens so much is that they embody this idea that there's someone in the universe that could accept him the way he is, since every human he's ever met gives him a hard time just for existing. Momo believes in spirits because her grandmother is a medium, and despite the constant insults that Momo flings at her, she has a lot of love and respect for the woman that raised her, and it's really beautifully showcased through some nice silent artwork without any dialogue needed. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of this complex and believable relationship Yuki no Butatsu has expertly chiseled out for us. Hell, my favorite chapter so far was about Ken and Momo sitting in class worrying about how they're gonna eat lunch together, and it was legitimately the most captivating reading I've had all week. The conclusion: if my theory holds, Dandadan might just be one expertly crafted shitpost by Yuki no Butatsu that he then used to make an emotionally vulnerable coming-of-age story with some of the cutest and most engrossing character work in all of Jump. But that's just a theory. A manga theory! Thank you for all the support on the previous 2 videos. They were a lot of fun to make, and I read and appreciated every single one of the comments you guys sent. I was genuinely really taken aback by how kind, respectful, and uplifting all of you guys were, so thank you. I won't promise a specific upload schedule, but I am gonna try to upload more. And as always, send me your recommendations if you have something you think I'd like. Now get out of here, you supportive scamps. Go read that.